Hey class, we are pulling up, wrapping up Module 3, which is closing February 3rd. So I just wanted to come by and speak with you prior to going on to Module 4. Now, if you review, I just want to reiterate, remember, you have the option to complete the reading assignment or the quiz. Do not complete both, because if you complete both, I will only take the quiz. So you have the option to do the reading assignment or the quiz. The the reading assignment, once I grade your reading assignment, when you're doing answering your questions, try not to just type them in that comment box where it says like comments, but you want to actually, you can type them if you want in that in text, but make sure that you're actually typing the question and then the answer to make it easier, because usually it's not as hard to read. Most people usually send it as an attachment, which you don't have to, but if you're doing the reading assignment, again, if you're answering the questions, you need to answer 10 of the 12 questions. So you may pick any 10 to answer of those 12 questions, 10 of the 12. If you do all of them, I'm just going to grade the first 10. But you pick 10 of each question that you want to answer. Sorry, I'm getting tongue tied here. Want to answer. They're worth 10 points apiece. With that, when you go into your reading assignment, how I graded it, you will see it'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then minus 10. Each question, and I'll put minus 10, and then underneath that, I'll put what the correct answer is. So that's how you will actually read. If you ever have questions on your reading assignment, if you don't understand after I've given you an answer, please feel free to shoot me an email. But on your reading assignment, don't just look at your score when you go on your Blackboard and say, oh, I have 90 out of 100 or 80. Make sure to click on that and open it, and I do supply you with feedback. Okay, so I want to go over a few things with Module 3, understanding the difference between a search and a seizure and a frisk, and what are the different levels or burden that you need. So we know in order to carry out a search, right, you need what? If we're going to we need probable cause. Reasonable suspicion is not enough to carry out a full search. Everybody tracking with me? Reasonable suspicion. However, reasonable suspicion is sufficient for a frisk. And what is the purpose of a frisk? You should be able to tell me why is a police officer allowed under our constitutional right to conduct a frisk and maybe not a full out search, and at what point can that lead to a full out search, and understanding the different legal tests that must be met in order for them to carry out a search, a frisk, understanding the difference between probable and okay, so this is what I say, especially like in my face to face. So really, they're kind of like three, but let's legally talk about two. I say three because all as humans in law enforcement, especially trained individuals, you sometimes get a hunch. It's just like, you know how you get a hunch, you just have a feeling about something. Legally, you can't really act on that. However, legally, you have reasonable suspicion that police officer can act on and probable cause. But I always say you still have a hunch. The classic thing I like to do, and in your book when you talk about understanding when can a police officer search your vehicle, what can they search the vehicle for, when can an arrest be done, and what is an incident, what is a search incident to arrest. Um, so again, understand a frisk is done just based off of reasonable suspicion, not probable cause, um, and determine and to see if for protection of the officer, a pat down, frisk protection of the officer as well as the arrestee. Um, just going through some of the stuff here I wanted to highlight. Search. Okay, what areas of automobile may a police officer search if it contains a stolen television? In this is what the chapter talks about. When you have a search warrant, for example, a search warrant is specific to what they're looking for, and they have to identify and list where they're going in and what they're looking for. So if you believe a automobile has a stolen television and you're going to search the car, can you search it in the glove compartment, or do you have any legal bearing to be in the glove compartment? No, no. Only compartments that are large enough to contain a television, because what you're looking for, your search, your legal test there has to be a connection. So if I believe, if it's probable cause to believe or whatnot for that you have a stolen television in your car, I'm searching your trunk. I don't have any right to be in your glove compartment. Understanding those. When can you search a vehicle without a search warrant? You want to be able to do that. And yes, you can. I'm trying to see what else I wanted to go over with you. Oh, actual and implied consent. So So let's first we want to go down when you have encounters. We have different types of encounters with law enforcement, right? We have consensual encounter, meaning you want it to, and you have unconsensual when they're coming to you for something. So consensual and implied consent. Consensual consent is just that you give law enforcement officer permission to do whatever it is, to search you, to the classic example I'll give when a police officer pulls you over. Do you have anything in your car? You say, no, do you mind if I search your car? No. Well, now you just forfeited all your rights because you gave them consent to search the car. They asked you and you said yes. Did they have probable cause? It didn't matter. You gave it to them. You said yes. So now all of that is out the window. If you say yes and they find whatever they find, they can get you. Now, if you do not consent to it, and this is this gray area, what I always say, and I have to remember. So if you do not consent, a police officer must have probable cause. Everybody tracking on that? And I say, put it this way. Most educated, intellectual law enforcement officers are not going to conduct an illegal search without having probable cause or being able to try to identify probable cause. I'm trying to be very careful how I word this. Basically, what I'm saying is, okay, if you get pulled over, I'm not saying that they do this. If you get pulled over, police officer may have that hunch or that feeling that something, whatever. I'm not saying that they do this. Pull you over, they ask to search your car, you say, oh no. Well, if they continue on and then next thing you know, the police officer says they smell the odor of marijuana, they now have what? So hopefully you get where I'm going with that. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm not saying that that's what law enforcement do. I'm simply saying that most police officers are going to establish probable cause before searching the vehicle. Implied consent. Implied consent is that you as a person should have known that that was going to happen. For example, if you're in the food industry, the health inspector, you have an implied consent that they are going to come and look around and do things and search things, anytime. ABC liquor store and the clubs, the nightlife that serves the liquor and all, they have the ABC law enforcement officers that they're able to go in undercover anytime. So implied consent is just that where you should have known or had the right to search without giving any type of warning. And a good one is the health inspections on that. Next thing you want to understand is the difference between a business and when can you search a business and when does a business have that reasonable expectation of privacy. Because the whole thing against illegal search and seizure is establishing that you have that reasonable expectation of privacy. So if a business is going on, at what point is that established that they should have and they do have a reasonable expectation of privacy, therefore you need a search warrant to carry out, and what areas? So you want to be able to look at that and understand what is the search incident to arrest. You already know the difference between a frisk, difference between reasonable suspicion and probable cause. You will often hear that, and a lot of people get that mixed up. So make sure you look at reasonable suspicion and probable cause. If you have any other questions, somebody was coming to the door and I had to stop. Sorry. Feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call, and I will talk to you guys soon.